Welcome back to Revelation 18, Part 2. Let's read verse 5. Verse 5 is an interesting when we look at Bible history in Babylon. The people in Babylon said in Genesis, "Let's build a tower that reaches heaven." They weren't able to build a tower to heaven, but their sins reached up to heaven. The sins of this godless system of Babylon have harmed billions of people for thousands of years. Commercial Babylon has a long record of sins. Evil and powerful people have been in control of many things, including corrupt religious systems and corrupt business and political systems. These systems put people into bondage, and they have affected every nation on the face of the earth. Babylon's laws of economics and commerce enslaved the poor. Debts grow larger by charging excess interest rates. There is a practice called fractional reserve banking. Bankers at the largest banks encourage wars and loan money to nations. They charge, some of these hidden bankers control the very banking system, and they charge nations interest on loans. This system of loans and excess interest originated in Babylon. Let's read verses 6 and 7. It's not clear who is speaking here in verses 6 and 7. It might be Jesus crying out for judgment. The city is the center of world commerce, and it's destroyed by God in just one day. The prosperity of Babylon's inhabitants blinded them to God and to God's judgments. It made them drunk. It intoxicated them. It deceived them. And they violated God's laws and thought nothing about it. They did not object to it. It resulted in luxury and arrogance and pride. They were convinced that these lifestyles would never end. But God's judgment will one day fall. Let's read verse 8. This fleshly system of indulgence is contrasted with a sudden change due to God's judgment. Her plagues will come in one day, death and mourning. This destruction is total and final. It ends with fire. Let's read verse 9 and 10. It appears the city of Babylon at this time controls and rules the world. Antichrist will have his world dictatorship centered in Babylon. The rulers and inhabitants of this city will be in rebellion against God and Jesus Christ. And Babylon is suddenly destroyed in 1 hour by God's judgment. The kings of the earth hated religious Babylon in Revelation 17. And Antichrist destroys this religious system. The kings of the earth will join together to destroy this religious system. Antichrist does not want competition. He will want to be worshipped along with his image. But the kings of the earth love economic or commercial Babylon because it has given them great power and wealth. What happens when this commercial system of Babylon is destroyed? They will hide and be fearful. They will mourn and cry. Let's read verses 11 through 17. These verses describe many luxury items, things that wealthy people can buy. These things were also available in the Roman Empire in John's day. Verses 12 and 13 are a partial list of the wealth of this system. 28 things are listed. It also includes slavery, men and women slave, the bodies and souls of men. Almost every nation today has criminal activities related to drugs and immorality. This includes selling and buying human bodies. Human slavery also exists in various parts of the world. And people have become rich by these things. But now they're standing far off. Some probably have traveled underground. They have built underground shelters and homes in remote areas, and they're crying out loud, they're wailing. These people are greatly depressed and angry. All of their savings, all of their wealth is gone in 1 hour. Even the silver and gold is worthless. Let's read verses 17 through 19. This third category includes transportation workers. Much of the merchandise in Babylon travels on the oceans. And suddenly there's going to be a destruction of these businesses. The shipmasters, captains, and sailors, they will stand at a distance. This includes giant ships and tankers. Some carry cargo containers from distant lands like China. And it's destroyed in 1 hour. Notice the crying. It's in verses 9, 11, and the last part of 15 through 19. These leaders and merchants and distributors, they're not crying over their sin. They're not crying out to God. They're crying because they're sad. They've lost money and wealth and power. Their businesses are completely destroyed. Their wealth and investments are worthless. Their future is hopeless. But there's a different reaction in verse 14. They desire to have something they lost, and they will never have it again. They cry and they weep. And this crying will continue throughout all eternity, as we'll see in the next chapters. It will never end. People that depend on the world system and the pleasures of the world will live alone apart from God forever and weep. This is what Jesus said. There would be weeping and gnashing of teeth. This is a place where the worm does not die, where the fire is not put out. Jesus said, "What will it profit you if you gain the whole world but lose your soul?" A relationship with Jesus Christ, repentance and forgiveness of sins, is infinitely more important to a man than all of the pleasures on earth. But there's a strong contrast in the next few verses. Let's read verses 20 through 24. In heaven, people are rejoicing. But who are these people that are singing and rejoicing? Well, we met some of them in Revelation chapter 4 and 5. It includes the 4 living creatures around the throne of God. It includes the church, the apostles and the prophets, the 24 elders, the tribulation saints who were martyred. And they're all singing and rejoicing. Christians who understand the history of Christian persecution can better appreciate this. Because for thousands of years, those that love Jesus Christ have been persecuted. Wicked and evil men have killed millions. Now it's finally over, and heaven is rejoicing. There's no more wickedness. Jesus is about to descend from heaven, and his people are rejoicing. And this corrupt, destructive system, this economic system of Babylon that has enslaved and destroyed many people, is finally cast down. Verse 21 mentions a millstone being thrown down forcefully in the sea. These millstones were made out of a large piece of rock to grind grain. And this is a millstone that's thrown into the oceans. This is similar to what Jesus said about abusing or destroying the faith of a little child. Whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it were better for them to have a millstone hung around their neck and to be cast into the sea. This wicked worldwide economic system has abused many children. And this system has taken captive the souls of men, including many children. Today, every person is either a citizen of this Babylonian system of religion and commerce and banking and wealth, or they're a citizen of heaven. The question is, where are you investing your time, your talents, and your treasures? Is it in a world system? Or are you a citizen of a different kingdom, the kingdom of heaven? I never heard of anyone at the end of their life that said, "Oh, I've made a terrible mistake. I loved God too much. I was too devoted to the things of God, the things of the Spirit. I wasted too much time sharing the gospel with others. I wasted too much time reading my Bible." I never heard anyone saying these things. I never heard anyone saying at the end of their life, I spent too much time praying. I never heard anyone say that they wasted their life loving and serving Jesus Christ. May the Lord be with you. Love one another.